Well, Winter Is Coming wasn't exactly what we expected, but still was a fun show. Hi again, everybody. I am a Joe Chun Love back again for the podcast. Here I am for your AEW Dynamite review for December 15th, 2021. Also, Winter Is Coming review, but thank you for joining me. The show was, well, headlined, but it started with a draw, a 1 hour draw between Hangman Adam Page and Bryan Danielson for the World Championship. And I've already seen many comments on social media voicing the distaste about the outcome. And look, it just shows you that some people get it and some people don't, as far as the broader picture down the line. And look, the match was very good. The match was very good. Blew my expectations. I mean, after I made dinner and going to the TV, seeing that this match was opening the show, you could kind of get the sense with Battle of the Belts coming in January, and you know, all the titles will be on the line. You want it to be as big a show as possible. So, I mean, made sense with all of the circumstances, but people complain about it, and you know, I get it to a degree. You know, Hangman's first defense, Bryan, this second draw, yes, this year, but you count on one hand the amount of draws AEW has had in their 2.5 year run on TV. Not to mention what lies ahead. So, I mean, that just wanted to get that out in the air off my chest. What I think about the little bit of backlash. We also had the Dynamite Dominant Ring on the line tonight. MJF Vs Dante Martin. And a little bit more, but let's get into it. After talking about it, let's get into it now. So, Hangman Adam Page vs Bryan Danielson for the AEW World Championship. Match went the full time limit. I would also say the 4 commercial breaks kind of were a bit takeaway from it, but just that regard. But the match started with some mind games being played by Bryan trying to get into Hangman's head. Of course, him playing this whole heel ideal. Then, hanging match of some chain wrestling. They were exchanging chops to the chest, of course. Started to get more physical, but then Bryan targeted the ankle of Hangman. Kind of similar fashion that he targeted Alan Angel's knee, in which he won with the heel hook. So Bryan went for a suicida on the outside, but was met with a big boot and then a lariat that sent Bryan to the outside, followed with a Asai moonsault to the outside. But back in the ring, Hangman went for a splash off top rope, met with a kick in the midsection, and in other regard, Hangman's midsection was being targeted vastly by Bryan throughout the match. Again, just so much to go over in this match. But so back in the ring, Hangman hit Death Out Driver for a near fall. Then Hangman went for a moonsault but missed in the ring. Then Bryan went for Oklahoma roll for a near fall. Bryan hit the corner drop kicks in the corner twice, and then was caught with a Sydal powerbomb by Hangman for a near fall. Hangman looked like he was going to go for a second Asai moonsault, but dumped by Bryan on the apron, and then the shoulder, which banged off the apron for Hangman. Bryan met with a ring post, and then Hangman went headfirst into the ring post, which cut him open. So we went to commercial break. Bryan again showboating, went for jumping jacks in the ring. Funny stuff there. So they were on the apron, and Bryan went for his yes kicks, but Hangman ducked, and Hangman met the post and was busted open, and Bryan kicked the post, which hindered him and took him out for a bit as he was gingerly on his leg as he hit the ring post. So then they were back in the ring, just exchanging, exhausted pretty much. Well, and then out of nowhere, Hangman hit a tombstone piledriver for a near fall. They were on the top rope. Bryan hit a top rope back suplex for a 2 count. They were back on the apron, and Hangman hit a dead eye on Bryan, which in all likelihood, the tombstone could end the match. The dead eye on the apron could end in the match as well, I would say, but Hangman instead just rolling in the ring, taking a count of victory. So Bryan was near the timekeeper's table, and Hangman saw him, went for dive off the top rope. he went head first. He didn't go through the table, but he went head first onto the table, onto the outside. Back in ring from break. Just a big strike fest ensuing, trying to go for the kitchen sink near the full hour. So, once again, Bryan went for the top rope back suplex off the top rope, but Hangman landed on his feet. Hit a beautiful discus lariat, which knocked Bryan for a loop. And then exchanging again, and Bryan hit a roundhouse kick, which decked Hangman, and then went for a near fall. Bryan, you could tell, was getting frustrated not being able to put Hangman away. So he went for his right knee, but Hangman caught him with a dead eye for a very close near fall. And then turnabout is fair play, according to Taz. As he, after seeing weeks of Bryan stomping the Dark Order's heads in, Hangman took the spot and stomped Bryan's head in near the end of the match. So then, all of a sudden, Bryan met with a beautiful lariat again by Hangman. But instead of going for the cover with less than a minute left, Hangman hit the buckshot. But right after time expired, and it's a draw. I mean, what a... I was kind of speechless, I would say, after match. We've seen Okada and Omega have a draw, which was classic. This was great between Hangman and Bryan. Of course, Bryan and Omega, which we know how good Omega is. They went the full 30 minutes, but only half this. That was very good in its own right. But again, great match. Obviously, people are sour on the outcome. But again, it's about down the line, Battle of the Belts or Revolution, whichever they decide go with it. And we will get another match out of these two. But yeah, very good match. So then we got Wardlow versus Matt Sydal. Again, MJF on the show. So, made sense. Wardlow, they're continuing the build, the slow build of Wardlow as they get him towards turning on MJF. This was short and sweet. Sydal tried to chop down the big guy Wardlow, but Wardlow eventually caught Sydal and went for multiple power bombs. And then Shawn Spears, who was outside with Wardlow. He took the microphone and he said, "Pin him. Pin him. He's not getting up." And then crowd was chanting at Wardlow for one more, one more. So Wardlow just kept powering on these power bombs onto Sydal, and then eventually pinned him. 1, 2, 3. Wardlow wins. And then Shawn Spears, he got in the ring, went on a tirade of chair shots to Sydal after the match. He was like to Wardlow saying, "One too many. Don't work by the hour." So then Spears got a call from MJF. He said, "Yeah, we're live." And he said he'll tell Wardlow. So he told Wardlow that Max wants him to pick up some champagne for MJF's big victory later tonight. So there's that again, the slow build for Wardlow. House of Black. This was another intriguing moment of the show. So, as we know, Ring of Honor had its final event, final battle for at least a while. If they come back, they won't be the same, but now all those guys are free agents. So, as we know, part of those free agents, Brody King, who has teamed with Malachi Black, will be a free agent and is likely signed with AEW. As we got this strange vignette of Malachi Black. He was with more eye makeup around him, sort of differently, and he had a robe on. He was spewing mist at this one, perhaps disciple, who was also housing a robe along with a hood. Placed this kind of necklace around, pretty much signifying that he's adding to the House of Black. Was going to be a faction and was likely to be the first member of the House of Black, Brody King. So that would be very interesting. We've seen Black spew the mist into Cody, into Julia Hart last week, and the Pack. So, to be adding this member and Dante Martin really be something. So then we got Hikau Shida for Serena Deeb. Trilogy match between the two. Solid match between the two women. First match, it was in the TBS or excuse me, it was for Shida's 50th win at the time. And of course, this when Serena denied her and smashed her 50th win trophy. And signifying this whole heel turn of Serena Deeb, which has been very good. Shida got the win here, but again, solid match. You know, sort of the match was Deeb um, targeting Shia's knee, which kind of cost her the match with Nyla Rose. Enziguri followed a suplex by Shia for a near fall. And then Deeb kind of cost herself, so Deeb exposed the top turnbuckle, but went headfirst into the turnbuckle, in which Shia pinned her with jackknife for the win. Shia gets the victory in this trilogy, so good stuff between the two. I have to say this, along with the first match, was, or the world title match, was the surprise of the night. Varsity Blondes, Griff Garrison, Brian Pillman Jr., they were in the back with Tony Schiavone, and Griff Garrison cut a very good promo. So, he was distraught about what happened to Julia Hart last week. So, he talked about how Black may be intimidating, but he's only a coward. So then he got a little feisty with Pillman, saying that was our sister. And whose side are you on? So then he was pissed at Pillman, kind of shoved him, saying, if you won't fight this battle, I will. So he looked in the camera saying, next week, Black, I'm going to break your jaw. So next week, it's going to be a swift end for Griff Garrison, but Black versus Garrison, I can get behind at the Holiday Bash. You know, I will say that we talked about the Varsity Blondes and Pillman. You know, he's been improving. You know, he's obviously the older of the two, and he has the lineage with being the son of Brian Pillman, but still new to the business. You know, only been a couple years. Garrison as well. He's younger, but you can see he's got a little bit of I would say it's hard to say. They have similar ceilings, I would say. They make up a good tag team, though. And again, improving about the young guns you like to see. And Garrison, you can tell he's improving with his promo ability. So, then the main event. Actually, first before the main event, so line up for Rampage Friday. So, Dan Lambert of American Top Team. He's back for Rampage. Then we got a couple of multi-man tag team matches. We got the Elite, Adam Cole, Young Bucks, and Bobby Fish versus the Best Friends and Rocky Romero, 8-man tag. Also, we got a 10-man tag between Santana Ortiz, Eddie Kingston, and the Lucha Brothers versus 2.0, Daniel Garcia, and the Acclaimed. And we also got Ty Conti versus Penelope Ford in a submissions match. So, a little bit intriguing there. Also, we got a little bit of a tease for next week. So, Adam Cole says he has a present for the Young Bucks and Bobby Fish for next week, saying it'll be the best present they could have. And funny thing is, Kyle O'Reilly tweeted afterwards, "What's in the box?" So, I mean, I think it's safe to say that Kyle O'Reilly is going to be debuting, I assume, next week at the Holiday Bash for AEW in Greensboro. Should be interesting. So now, main event time. So MJF versus Dante Martin for Dynamite Diamond Ring. So first, MJF came out. Normal reaction. Last week was bizarre in Long Island. Him getting cheered. Back to him getting the boos. So MJF was out there all seriousness. He cut a promo on Texas talking about how CM Punk got the low hanging fruit, talking about the New York Islanders for pretty much 10 minutes last week. He praised Dante Martin, but he said he's no MJF. And he has the charisma of Helen Keller. Something I forgot what he said, but something like that. As we can tell, Dante needs a mouthpiece with his in-ring work. This match, though, very good. We know Dante, clearly we all see in AWC's how good he is at only 20 years old. And his brother Darius, still injured, still out with torn ACL, top flight. So it's not a tag team back again yet, but I imagine they'll be back soon. Dante shined, though, in this match. So he hit a rolling 450, which I don't think I've ever seen that yet on MJF for a near fall. Dante was just hitting him with high flying attack, tope over top rope, not once but twice. MJF was trying to get out of dodge. Ultimately, Dante crashed on the outside. Went for a victory roll for a near fall, but hit a drop kick and then a springboard top rope splash on the outside. then hit a top. He was going all over the ring with topes. Then hit a top rope shooting star press to the outside. Looked like he took the brunt of it on the ramp, but still got up. And then they were trading near falls back and forth, trying to get the advantage. MJF hit a Liger Bomb then for a 2 count. Dante went for his nosedive finisher, springboard moonsault, but Ricky Starks, Team Jazz, he came out and put MJF's foot on the bottom rope. So that was their fault. And he backed away. And Dante Quintel was not pleased by the decision. So then went back the attack on MJF. But MJF walked on the salty earth, Fujiwara armbar, and Dante tapped out. And once again, MJF for a third straight year is the recipient of the Dynamite Diamond Ring. So then FTR, they came out, and I was curious what was gonna happen because as you can tell at Final Battle, FTR brawled with the Briscoes. And he thought, okay, winter is coming. Perhaps we get one debut tonight. So FTR put MJF on their shoulders. Then the lights go out. You're like, okay, it's got to be something. Nope. Sting and Darby. I'm sure, everyone loves Sting and Darby, but kind of a disappointment. Just a little disappointing that we didn't see a debut. So Darby and Sting attacked FTR and MJF, but eventually got the advantage. And then CM Punk ran out with Sting's baseball bat, chased off MJF and FTR. Next week at the Holiday Bash, we got a trios match. FTR and MJF versus CM Punk, Darby Allin, Sting. So good stuff there. But a little disappointing we didn't get a debut. But other than that, solid show. Solid Winter Is Coming. I mean, last year, the inaugural Winter Is Coming. We got Kenny Omega being Moxley. Then we got Sting debuting. But it was in front of a crowd. So I would say it's hard to say because this Winter Is Coming had a crowd, but great matches, so here and there. But solid show. Not gonna really complain about it, other than a little disappointment, but it is what it is. But other than that, that's the review, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and know I did too. If you did, click that like button. As well, if you want to see more of these, my Dynamite and AEW reviews overall, as well as pro wrestling. Find those on the channel. But thank you all. I'll be back obviously Saturday for Rampage. So thank you. Be safe. Peace.